James Helder, IFL TV, MTK Global. I'm in the home of the Furies today in Bolton. With me, I've got trainer Peter Fury. How are you, sir?
Yeah, good to see you, James.
Good to see you. Big fight week for Huey. Chance for him to get his hands on the Lonsdale against Sam Sexton. How has the preparation everything been for this?
Preparation's been good. You'll see a difference in his physique as well as his performance. He's in very good shape. He's strong, and yeah, it's gone well for him.
Do you think this is the best Huey Fury's gonna look in a fight? I know it's hard to predict stuff, but I mean, with his illness clearing up, with the time you've had since the defeat to Parker to reassess his the way you want him to box, the way you set him out, do you think this will be the most convincing he'll look?
I think he'll look well. I think he'll get a lot of shots together, and you know, it's all over time and experience and relaxing. You know, that's they're just tweaks really. But the tweaks mean a massive difference. So, yeah, I'm sure he's going to do very well. I think people should be pleasantly surprised.
As much as he's got a high skill set, he obviously sometimes boxes a lot of, not safety first is the wrong word, but he'll control and look for the counter, he'll fight on the back foot. Have you tweaked that a little bit to make him more scoring, more active in the fights? Yeah,
he has to do. He's got to throw more punches, and the best way to do that is being relaxed. He knows what's what, and he's just got to be busy and not look to put hard shots in. He's just got to he's got to move like he does on his feet and just use his punch variety. And his boxing's a skill at the end of the day. You know, he's just got to relax and just let his shots flow.
What have you seen in Sam Sexton as the champion? What can you tell us about Sam?
Well, this is Sam's world title fight, isn't it? So we're going to see a different Sam Sexton. Because what you've got here is looking at his past fights. You know, he'll have come on a lot since then. He's got a very good trainer in Graham Everett. You know, he's had Jonathan Thaxton. He's a good man. He knows his boxing, so he'll have trained him to the best that Sam Sexton can ever be. So, like he said today, he's mentally and physically strong. So he's not going to be. You know, I don't envisage this fight being a walk in the park. I think he's gonna show some obstacles in there.
Is this quite a concern for you? Is it a real, genuine concern? Do you feel that Sam Sexton is a genuine threat to you?
Any heavyweight who holds a title, any heavyweight that gets in the ring is a genuine threat. Any heavyweight that's had a 10-week camp is a threat. So, of course, he's a threat.
No, just looking at the bookmaking odds, some of them were really wide in Hugh's favour and very wide the other way on Sexton. Do you feel that sometimes fights are not evenly matched on the odds as the fight is evenly matched?
Well, you know, I think we fought in the past where the bookies has had Huey not favourite or whatever, but I don't really go off bookies and things like that. You know, I go off what we do in the gym. We're treating Sexton like he's a world champion. He's been prepared for like a world champion, so anything that comes less is a bonus. So it's one of them. No one's overlooked. You know, it could be even Wilder. It wouldn't make any difference. Just because it's Sam Sexton, it's not took light. So it's every fight is took serious.
Knowing Graham Everett and the way he prepares his fighter, would you be fully expecting Sam Sexton to be there in the championship rounds?
Yeah, absolutely. The only time he won't be in the championship rounds is if he gets caught and he gets hurt. But as far as durability goes and being able to go the 12, yes, he'll be fully conditioned to do the 12.
Heavyweight division at the moment, exciting as ever. We saw Tony Bellew taking out David HAYE concussively. What were your sort of thoughts on that fight?
Look, you know, when the rhythm's gone, it's like the timing of a car. It's nothing works. You know, he was boxing on his heels. He was jumping back. There's no instep on the ball of his feet movement. It's gone. So you could see that as soon as the bell went. So because the feet were static, it was all static. So the movement, the agility wasn't there. So he was struggling. You know, it was almost like you've got a limp horse in a race. You know, that's what I've seen with David HAYE. I take nothing away though from Bellew. He done what he did. I believe that David HAYE wasn't injured, but whether it was a conscious thing, whether it was playing on his mind, he just couldn't get up on his toes, and that obviously affected everything about his performance. All of his shots was telegraphed. You could see him coming from a mile off. He was loading up again. So this is what happens when you know you've got serious problems with the legs.
Do you think this will be the last time we see David Haye in a boxing ring personally? Do you think he'll carry on? What's your opinion on it?
I don't think he's got nothing to prove. If he's had, he's lost the first one, he's come back, he's lost the second one even more convincingly. Obviously, whatever problems he's got, this is only me highlighting what I think. But for me, I think he should call it a day because he's been a 2-time world champion. He's got plenty of money now, so what's the point? He's got good fighters in his stable. Carry on and work with them. He's done fabulous in his career, so he's done a lot what others haven't. So he's got nothing to carry on for, really, I think.
Tony Bellew, on the flip side of that, he seems to be getting better with age. Every performance, people are writing him off. He seems to find a way to get through it and get the W. At this stage, what would you like to see Tony Bellew? What fights would you like to see him in?
I wouldn't write, Tony Bellew is getting better. Anybody that's got a heart and, you got a desire to win, and they want it so badly, they're always going to be difficult. And everybody says small heavyweight, this and that. Let me tell you, it's all rubbish. He's 6'4" and he's 15 stone. Wilder, what's in him? 2 pound in body weight. So Wilder, we all know he can punch. Look, if Tony Bellew gets it on you, you've got problems. I don't care how big you are and what you are. So it's just the way it is.
What have you made of the situation with Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder? We all want to see the fight. What's your take on it?
I think it's a good fight. It needs making. There's too much money for it not to be made. It unifies all the belts, and both them where they're at now, really what's there for them? They need to unify, don't they? So I would say unify the belts and get it on. I think they definitely both want it. So I think it's just a bit of a chess match at the moment to get as much, everybody's vying to get the extra $1 million out of it or something.
Do you understand that, or do you think that they should make an agreement knowing how much money's in the fight?
There's a lot of things, a lot of hurdles to go over. We've been involved in world title fights ourselves, and we just know what the level of negotiations are. So it'll be a lot of things. Somebody will want a little bit more of this, a lot more of the broadcast. It could be an army of one things that needs resolving, but I'm sure it will get resolved. I think we can expect to see that fight.
We saw also on the undercard of Tony Bellew, David Haye, JOYCE winning the Commonwealth title in just 4 fights. Very good win for him, smashing Leroy Thomas very, very quick as well. What were your thoughts on that?
People can say what they want. We know JOYCE. He can fight. He got robbed with a goal, didn't he? He may look awkward, he may not look eye-pleasing, but what he makes up for it in other areas, he's a nightmare for anybody. And he's being fast-tracked for a reason, because he can punch and he can go the rounds. He's a big, serious athlete. So I see what other people don't see, because they think, oh, it's not pretty, he could have done this, he could have done that. Look, he looked at Leroy Thomas as what he was, powerless, and he just walked through him. He wasn't bothered what was coming back. So when he needs to box, he can box. People's judging it and thinking, well, you wouldn't get away with that because you get knocked out, but he ain't fighting big bangers, is he, in Leroy Thomas? So why waste time? He's got the power. He's a big, powerful man, isn't he? Hence the name, the Juggernaut. So he's juggernauted Leroy Thomas.
Do you think people
flattened him, actually?
Do you think people are wrong in writing off his chances of winning a world title at this stage? I know he's 32 years old. He's only 4 fights into his career, but it seems to be that a lot of negativity surrounding what he could do, what he potentially could do. Do you think that's wrong to look at someone just because of their age and say, that's you're in that box?
Listen, negativity through what? Jealousy? Because seeing the kid do well and win with 4 fights and win a Commonwealth title. Listen, they'll see what he can do, this kid. He's a good talent.
Immediately after the win, no doubt people were talking to him about the winner of Sexton and Fury. He was very respectful. He said potentially business may have to take place. Would that be any problem from your point of view, potentially looking at that fight for Hughie in the summer if everything goes well?
We're not interested in it, for the simple reason he's had, Hughie's been professional now 6 years. He's got robbed of a world title. We're coming back with his British, and this is as far as we want to step down, really. So we need Hughie in good fights. We want to be knocking on the door of world title fights. For us, not taking anything away from JOYCE's talent, but for us it would just be a backstep. We've got nothing to gain from that, so we wouldn't be interested in it. What
would be the preferred route that you would like to go with Hughie Fury? Back to fighting at world level. What would be the belt or the way you potentially would like the opportunity to come?
Any, you know, God willing, he comes through this Saturday. And like I said, I mentioned Pulev, Cha, you know, who else is there? There's Ortiz, I think, who Dillian White's going to fight. Not sure if he's fighting him or not. You know, anyone really that wants to take it in the top 5, he'll take it. And we'll travel.
No qualms of going abroad if you had to take a chance to fight.
Even Povetkin will go to Russia tomorrow. So, not bothered. So we're happy to go on the road and take whatever we can get. Short end of the money, finances don't bother. You know, it didn't bother us in the Parker fight, so it didn't about the money.
At only 23 years of age and still learning, growing his craft, do you feel that there is still room to improve in Huey?
He's going to improve because, look, you know, heavyweights of his size are not going to be fully matured until the 26. So he's ahead of his time already. He's 23 years of age, you know, and he's getting there. He's growing up into boxing. This is a professional sport, you know, so he's at a young age and he's doing exceptionally well at the moment. But he's so far ahead of his time, he's ready for a world title. He can fight for a world title tomorrow. And that's why we're going to rush him and get him back up there as quick as possible, because he's in the mix now. We don't need to wait 3 years. He's not being took round the houses to improve his game. He's improving his game all the time, so he can fight for titles. He's up there. I think he's in the top 5 in the world anyway, where he is today.
Quick word on some of the other fighters in the stable, doing a fantastic job with Peter McDonough, and we've seen Savannah Marshall as well. How fortunate and how talented are those guys on their own merit?
I think Peter speaks for himself, what he's achieved and what he's done. You know, I've no doubt at all he'll come through this Saturday night, and we just want to see him in a meaningful fight. And I'm sure when he buckles down, he's got the capability, because he can box, he's got a good chin. And the thing is with Peter McDonough, you know, if the boxing isn't working, he can take you in the trenches. So, you know, he belongs where he is. He's getting better all the time, like you said.
Savannah Marshall, how talented is she, and what can we expect to see from Savannah?
I think again, you know, she ticks all the boxes. She's in the right body weight, and she can punch. She's got not just a punch; she's a box puncher, I would say. So she's got good selections with the shots, and she's learning all the time, and she's got a good relaxed style. So I expect big things from her as well. I think she's going to be knocking on the door for world titles sooner rather than later.
Peter Fury, thank you very much for coming to R4 TV. Great to get you back on the channel, sir.
Yeah.
We'll be at the weigh-in tomorrow, and we look forward to seeing you there. Thank you very much.